Ooh, pink. Pink cat! Pink cat perfume!
Shot that bimbo, ball trade, and bird right, go
Hi there, chat. Sorry about that. Yanners isn't involved in any of this, but I needed a train wreck video to kind of sum up what's going on today. And that was the best I could come up with. The AVGN edit there, added by my best friend, which was, who was at one point known as the biggest Gura anti. But now he's the biggest Yanners anti, so you can thank him for that video. That was his suggestion, not mine. So all the blame falls on him when it comes to that kind of stuff. So how you doing today, chat? Today's streams probably is not gonna be too long since had a busy day, kind of tired. But there's some things to discuss, some things to go through. And some of them not so enjoyable, some of them a bit more enjoyable. A lot of the same nonsense that you see every day, just with the involvement of a bigger corpo VTuber. And by big corpo VTuber, I of course mean Zaion LanZa of Nijisanji's XSOLEIL branch. It's only been how many months? Yeah, 2 months, and there's already been a couple of dramatic moments involving that group. Mostly nothing burgers, if you want to call them that. One of them was cut saying the R word on stream, and some people decided to make a huge stink about it, even though she didn't. Of course, this isn't about Zaion or anything. It's about another XSOLEIL VTuber, but she was basically caught saying the R word to a bunch of NPCs, and some people took offense to that because, of course, everyone has to be hypersensitive about these things, even though it wasn't meant towards any particular group of people, just a random bunch of NPCs. But that has very little to do with LanZa. LanZa's story is pretty difficult. I named this stream in a particular way because I know I know it's pretty controversial to suspend a VTuber for any reason, especially if it's a corpo VTuber. And corpos, either Niji or Holo or any other, usually give very vague reasons why these particular VTubers got suspended in the first place. But in Zaion's case, it was a bit more explicit, it was a bit more detailed. And we're gonna take a look at that, and also the reaction of people on Twitter to this information about how they tried to spread more misinformation about Zaion, and how serious were the things that Zaion actually did in order to get suspended in the first place. So we're gonna explore all that today, or at least as much information as I have gathered together over the course of like 2 days. There's not much, and the more definitive stuff that was available has been edited out of her VODs, because most of the yabs that she experienced were quickly edited via privating the streams and then just erasing these particular parts that were breaking some TOS over there at Nijisanji's XSOLEIL. So yeah, let's go through it. This kind of came to me as a surprise because I haven't been paying that much attention to any of the Nijisanjis really, other than the first Ian girls really. Nijisanji has a tendency to release all of these generations one by one. They just machine gun them out. And it's not something that only happens to the Ian branches. It's also very popular thing to do with the Japanese ones. So yeah, let's go through this thing. Starting off with the suspension notice that was posted on Twitter by the official Nijisanji account. Let me lower the music volume just a little bit, because it's just a little bit too loud. Alright, I think this should be fine enough. Notice, temporary suspension of Zaion LanZa activities. Thank you for always supporting Nijisanji and Nijisanji EN. We are sorry to announce the temporary suspension of Zaion LanZa activities as a result of repeated misconduct. After management warned her several times about compliance issues since debut, this situation did not improve and the following issues occurred. Remarks showing no intentions to improve from previous issues and false statements during streams. Discrepancies between information given to management by Zaion LanZa and her acts. Insensitive jokes that cannot be tolerated as a Nijisanji liver. Due to these issues and their repeated nature, Zaion will be temporarily suspending all streaming and social media activities. For any questions regarding this matter, please contact any caller and do not inquire to livers. We hope you for your kind understanding. Sincerely, Any Caller Incorporated. So this statement is pretty short, but it does tell you a lot, even though it won't go into specific details about what exactly she did. But those things we're gonna be exploring during today's streams anyway. But first of all, remarks showing no intention to improve from previous issues and false statements during streams. Meaning, Zaion has previously gotten into trouble with her management and made some, I don't know if you can call them lies, but made some false statements about specific things during during specific streams of hers. What those false remarks are, I'm not quite sure. I didn't get into it, so I guess that's gonna be staying between her management and herself. Someone might have more info than I do, but you know, that kind of information is hard to verify, considering no one's really an insider at Nijisanji, and to my knowledge, and will be as brazen to reveal that kind of information. But you know, the internet is the internet, and of course people are gonna be speculating about that. Second one, discrepancies between information given to management by Zaion LanZa and her acts. Meaning she did something else that she told her management during the stream, and basically she either lied to her management by omittance or just outright lied. Again, just a speculation here on these things that we cannot really prove, and even the things that are kind of, you know, benefiting of the status of evidence are kind of iffy, because Nijisanji, any caller, will not outright say which one of the things she's responsible for doing caused her suspension. And the last one, insensitive jokes that cannot be tolerated as Nijisanji liver. This one is a bit more obvious, considering what she said. We also get into this one, but you know, to spoil you that information already, it was a rape joke. At least the rape joke wasn't targeted at any person that was alive. And the rape jokes, at least to my count, the ones I did find were two. One was directed at Zaion herself. She made a joke that she's like in a bad part of the neighborhood, and she's more likely to get sexually assaulted in it. And the second one was regarding an NPC in a game in which that NPC gets sexually assaulted, and Zaion basically made the joke about her that she's pretty hot, and no wonder she got sexually assaulted by looking like that. So, you know, insensitive, edgy for sure. And considering what kind of, you know, company Nijisanji is, even though a lot of their livers make pretty fucking edgy jokes themselves, there's a lot of "fuck your mom" jokes. There's a lot of profanity, and there's a lot of edgy humor here and there. So, but this one kind of went over the line, and a lot of the fans had issues with that. So, you know, if you're a part of a corpo, especially like Nijisanji or Hollow, you kind of have to watch your language. You know, as edgy as you think you can be, you still have to put some things on the back burner, I guess. I mean, it still depends from corpo to corpo. Face Connect, for example, would make probably edgier jokes than that, including, you know, telling people to jokingly kill themselves and shit like that. But you know, different companies have different standards, and this is not up to any color standard, so this is one of the reasons she got suspended. And when it comes to Zaion herself, I think she should have been a bit more aware what kind of audience Nijisanji actually has, and you know, kind of held back a bit from some particular comments here and there. It's all kind of difficult to judge because the policies at Nijisanji are vague and they aren't really transparent, and this is all between the talents themselves and the managers and anyone else who runs the company or the Nijisanji and branch. Now let's get to the reactions to this nonsense, because some of the reactions are, you can even say, worse things than even Zaion herself did. Kind of ridiculous if you think about it. Have a few things to go through here. Kind of big. Hold up. There's the Nijisanji announcement of her suspension, and here's some quote retweets, which are of course gonna be quality content. The amount of people in the replies quote retweeting treating accountability as softness or oppression, and the amount of aggressively against the idea of Nijien hiring more safe work talent with proven records of not doing stuff that would force any color to make more of these public statements. See, this one is more level-headed than not, but you know, the thing about Niji and hiring more safe for work people is kind of wrong in the first place, because most of them are pretty fucking edgy. Nijisanji is not your say-so. At least the Yen branch is not your say-so. Yen branches, because there's many groups within the Niji-Yen branch. They aren't known for safe for work stuff. Again, there's a lot of profanity. There's a lot of crude sex jokes. There's all kinds of edgy humor associated with them, so they don't really have that image among the VTuber quote-unquote community. You know, foolishly equating family-friendly all ages to juvenile, despite family and all literally meaning young and adult, asserting that clean is inherently boring and treating other subjective opinions as fact while acting like accountability and professionalism are bad. No, the arguments aren't clean, equal boring. Pigame is obviously one of the most predictable beings around here. The argument was that you're boring. This was kind of related to what also happened to Pigame, but it's kind of a bit unrelated in context. And they're basically going about logical fallacies here. about addressing specific issues, and basically going around in circles, insulting each other over what's a safe for work creator and what's a not safe for work creator. You are a Reddit debate lord, aren't you? That's an ad hominem. Saying the reason you aren't successful is because your content is boring isn't an ad hominem, it's criticism. People can be successful and wholesome. You step over the line and into trying to tell others how they should be creating content, inviting criticism. I don't tell anybody how they should be creating their content. People incorrectly assume that, illogically and in bad faith. In fact, I often say to each their own, and everything in its proper place. Clear implications that there is a place for everything. What I do is advocate for the safe for creators already out there who put in the work, that there should be more opportunity for such ones, and highlight the merits of clean content that is suitable not only for older audiences but also younger ones simultaneously. See, I agree with these points, but again, Nijisanji isn't known for this type of content, and even though I don't know anything about their hiring practices, you can tell that they basically hire people that have a proven track record as entertainers, and they don't really look for, you know, specific people being safe for work or not safe for work. As long as they can provide a decent amount of attention to their brand, I don't think they care enough. That's why you can make the argument that Zaion was hired in the first place, because she can attract an audience, and it doesn't really matter how edgy she is. But this time it seems she was just a bit too edgy, at least for Nijisanji itself. But the fact of the matter is that as a 35-year-old man with 2 kids, I don't want an adult entertaining my kids. I find it creepy and weird that you would want to entertain kids. Historically, those who want to be around kids that aren't related to them are diddlers. As I said elsewhere, I don't target kids sorted, and my majority audience are ages 25 to 44. I just don't use profanity or behave suggestively in my daily life due to how I was raised. So doing so would be more forced and fake than simply let my content be all ages by being myself. While my natural speech and behavior are inherently clean and brand safe, I don't specifically cater to kids. I just don't wall out younger viewers. All ages and family friendly, by definition, doesn't mean targeted at kids. They mean suitable for all ages, the whole family, old and young. Which usually means, you know, very little to no profanity, no sexual content whatsoever, or if sexual content is alluded to, different synonyms that aren't normally used to describe those things would be used. Basically, that would be the bare basic definition of what a family-friendly content is. A lot of bigger creators online, especially YouTubers, do try to be that, so you won't see much of that content from them. Even though this definition of what's family friendly nowadays have been kind of pushed around left and right, so it kind of changes. You need to pay attention where the current social climate is in order to know what's actually family friendly and what isn't. And it doesn't really help that a lot of you know, the platforms that host that kind of content have rules that are extremely vague, and they change from year to year, sometimes even month to month. You guys are just gonna crash and burn because you keep bringing in weirdos and letting them be freaks online in your name. I'm like genuinely so sick of seeing people you allow to stream and allow them to make such weird remarks and only now reprimand them. Don't bring her back ever. What she's been saying is fucking disgusting, and I genuinely can't believe you allowed it for so long. So fucking better or shut or shut down for good because you're doing nothing with your lives at this point. So we're getting into some of the more unhinged things, and you'll quickly realize that the people that are mostly the ones that want her fired are people that are very young, sometimes minors themselves, and the intersection between Genshin fandom and Nijisanji and fans is extremely high. That might be because a lot of Niji livers have played Genshin Impact before, and you kind of know how Genshin Impact fans are online. You won't get any not unhinged arguments from them. Destroying their image by letting freaks use and carry their name proudly, it's shitty. And the fact that they still have people like Vox, Mista, and Fulgur who have said weird shit as well, but nothing about them. I genuinely don't understand how people ride or die for these people. They're all gross as fuck. At this point, they want clout from it, the attention and shit, keeping the well-known members because they bring popularity and fame. Yeah, you know, because this is how companies operate. They aren't there to make moral statements or teach you about things that are moral, or you know, not make edgy jokes as they have been so far. They're there to entertain and bring attention to the brand. And because you don't like the brand, you know, it is what it is. I know some drama about Mist that happened not so long ago. I don't know if he apologized. It died down pretty quickly, but I do remember it being offensive. Again, the things these people are referring to are hardly offensive. I think the thing that Mista is being targeted here for is him making a joke about the Genshin Impact character called Tainari. He made some jokes about it, the name being similar to Fai's, and you know, basically your regular juvenile humor with making fun of someone's name, and you know, people thought this to be incredibly racist and insensitive, and there was a huge full drama about it, which you can also find on my Twitter account if you want full details, because that was wild. Nijisanji Yen probably has the worst fans. I mean, I've seen some unhinged shit, and Nijisanji Yen fans are, well, quote-unquote fans, are usually at the top of bad behavior. How we pulling up to Zaion graduation stream? Again, all of these people with these either, you know, popular gacha games for teenagers avatars, usually underage, are very gleeful about someone potentially losing their job. I do hope nothing like this ever happens to them, but you know, considering their attitudes, I hope no one hires them ever for anything. Not gonna lie, Zaion had it coming with her extremely inappropriate jokes and not knowing when to shut the fuck up. She's one of the worst members of Niji-en yet. Sorry, not sorry, Zaion fans. That's a lie. We all know Nina is the worst one. Yeah, I said one, but Nina is pretty bad too. What did Nina do? This is a link to something someone made called Nina's bitch list, which is basically a list of what Nina has done according to some people that's out of line and that's rude. Mainly very petty complaints or stretching the truth. Some of the things in there are outright lies. So you know, these are the things these people do. They keep on trying to find these gotcha moments on all the Niji and livers, like 24/7. The crowd goes wild. Again, gleeful gloating about, you know, someone's problems. It's not like I don't do it either, but you know, I'm different. I see a lot of Loli Shota supporters in the comments on this. Heads up, so we can all block them. This is because Zaion is a self-admitted Shota-con, and of course, a lot of these people are going to be bringing this up like it's some huge fucking crime. Never mind that Nijisanji, especially the Japanese branch, is made out of a lot of lolicons and Shota-cons anyway. And one of the Niji Japan livers even made his whole personality around it, so, you know. What do these two people care? Zaion has made many tasteless jokes during the stream, some of which are anti-Semitic and rape jokes. That anti-Semitism we're gonna be addressing because that's a fucking stretch, if I've ever seen one. She never apologizes, but instead privates the VODs. Her genmates acting supportive of her during her suspension rubs me the wrong way. XSOLEIL is the worst wave yet. Was thinking about checking her out after the one collab she did with Vex, but I didn't know she was out here doing this. Used to be a Zaion. Mostly I noticed she doesn't have a filter. She treats this corporate job like it's an indie streaming on Twitch where she can say anything to a niche community. See, I agree with this at least because Zaion does not have a filter, and this is pretty much what got her in trouble in the first place. I hope she learns after this suspension, because after having watched a few of her streams, she is decently entertaining, at least for me, so I hope nothing happens to her, because, you know, getting to the point where you can have a job at Nijisanji is pretty much a dream come true for a lot of content creators out there, so having that dream be snuffed out in just 2 months is pretty tragic. She might just behave better outside of streams, which is why her gen mates are supportive. We don't know the person behind the model personally like they do after all. Again, it's not like Zaion has done anything super terrible, it's just that these people are painting it in such a light. But to act this way publicly is a shame, because her actions weigh not only on her shoulders, but the image of all her gen mates and co-workers, part of the Niji-en. I wish she would behave better while streaming. Again, I agree with this too, but these people are also looking to get her into trouble in the first place, so a lot of these comments will sound very disingenuous anyway. People saying Zaion made anti-Semitic jokes when she never did. Watch this clip. If so, you can see proof that she didn't. She talks about how people are calling her Zionists and Queen of the Jews, but she never says herself that she is. She then says, "I don't think we can do that," and we're gonna be playing that clip. So hold on. Music goes down. Clip goes up.
Zionites sound pretty cool. Zionites? I don't know if we can do that. Are we allowed to do that? Because, like, I see you guys down there. Isn't that like, you know, I remember someone made like the joke of like Zaion, Queen of the Jews. I'm like, wait, I'm not, wait, like, I don't think we can do that. Not that kind of Zaion. Holy.
See, this is the anti-Semitism they're accusing her of. This is a huge fucking stretch. Not only isn't she one making the joke, is someone else in her chat, and she's just responding to it, saying that, you know, this isn't probably something that would be allowed. So yeah, this is a huge fucking stretch. Okay, music up again. Moving on. People calling her a creep for the Shota jokes have clearly never watched a stream outside of VN. I don't like the lolicon and Shotacon stuff, or even the hentai in general. It makes me uncomfortable. If you're gonna cancel Zaion for it, also cancel a majority of JP VTuber scene. In regards to her sexual assault jokes during her karaoke, the karaoke stream, that I can't excuse. It's a stupid joke and I shouldn't have made it. Hopefully, while on suspension, she learns and doesn't do it again. But to act like she is forever evil and can be forgiven is also wrong. And yeah, let's not forget that this joke was made at an expense of an NPC. This situation would be dramatically different, at least for me, if it was directed at a real person. Otherwise, it's just a really edgy joke aimed at something that doesn't even really exist. And let's not forget, Zaion also made a similar joke about herself. So, in terms of judging her character, I personally don't think she would do that joke about a real person. She's human. She messed up. She made a mistake. Yes, it wasn't okay, but she can change and not do it again. To act like she can change is just BS to me. She deserves another chance, as does everyone. So let's see if it does change. Don't throw her aside for a mistake. She probably shouldn't be reading comments like that out loud. She still wasn't an anti-Semitic, like everyone apparently claims for her to be. That's just reaching and it slanders her. One last thing before I finish touching this tweet. I want to let people know that I happen to have some Jewish heritage on one side of my family, so please do not assume anything about me being anti-Semitic, because I know what anti-Semitism really is, and this isn't it, thanks. The claim anti-Semitism shouldn't be tossed around willy-nilly at every mention of Jewish Semitic people. Abusing the word in situations where there is no anti-Semitism demeans the definition and drags it through the mud, making it obsolete and numbing people to it. Anti-Semitism is a huge issue. The word anti-Semitism, as well as the accusation, should not be used lightly, and only in the situation where there are clear indications of anti-Semitism. For example, a non-Jewish person slandering a Jewish person due to Jewish stereotypes. When the word and accusations are used lightly, it takes away from the anti-Semitism what anti-Semitism truly is. Hatred of Jewish and Semitic peoples, as well as Jewish and Semitic stereotypes. The accusation in a situation like this makes no sense whatsoever and just makes it look like you don't know what anti-Semitism means. Please do your research before claiming something like this, thanks. And, you know, just judging by the amounts of likes on this, this is all gonna fall on deaf ears, so, you know, one very reasonable person among thousands is sadly not gonna make a difference in this situation, which is very disappointing, but, you know, again, Twitter, it is what it is. Bad behaviors are highlighted, whereas reasonable comments like this are very often just hidden away, not noticed by anyone. Bro, I just learned this is some accusations dating back to December. Bro, I just learned about the problematic shit Doppio and Zaion did. I heard and known Maloko was whole ass red flag from her debut stream. XSOLEIL is now ruined for me. Shakes my head. Okay, so Zaion mocked the Zionism movement and called herself queen of the Jews. See how these people twist that shit? I outright played you the fucking clip where that shit happens, and it's just not it. Doppio made not safe for audios of minor characters, and if you didn't know about Maloko, she showed SCP and rape anime in her debut stream as one of the animes she watches, which was heavily inappropriate. See, these people all blow that shit out of proportion and call anime child porn. So this is where these fucking Genshin Impact stand. Zaion didn't say it herself, is the thing. She was saying someone else said it and was trying to go, no, that's not good, that's bad. She's literally laughing at this joke. This is an uncomfortable laugh. She may try laughing it off to change the topic or diffuse it, but very clear that her intent was not to mock it. Who else smiled? Again, more gleeful behavior. Okay, I will sum up for those who have no idea. Made a comment about Jews. Someone else made a comment about Jews. She just responded to it. Plays copyright music on her stream. That's not something I found out. I don't know if she has. If she has, it was probably edited out when she hit the VODs. Use her old accounts to play games. Again, not sure if she actually did that. Talked about piracy. She talked about ROM hacking, to my knowledge. Used mods for FF14. Again, unsure about that. I think she used something that was allowed. I know how the FF14 devs look at mods, and a lot of them aren't allowed. I haven't played FF14 in a long time, so I don't know if those policies changed, but kind of was like that in the past. Made fun of someone who got raped and NPC. She actually, yes, did that. Made comments about self-harm and drug use. Oh, what a tragedy, considering a lot of Niji livers do that anyway. Talked about using ROM hacks on her 2.0, which is very bad because they're entirely of Nijisanji could lose their perms to play any Nintendo games. That's kind of partially true. And Nintendo doesn't like talk about ROM hacks or any mods of their games. That has been known since HoloLive years. Said that they have perms to play the Harry Potter game, but as stated by Raimo, they didn't have the perms to play it. Basically spread false information about management, which might be the thing that was being referred in the suspension notice by Nijisanji, but again didn't find much info about it. She privated some of her VODs with questionable things, so I can put more receipts. And this is the video of the rape joke, which we're gonna be play. Hold up. Booting it up.
Oh man, no wonder she got. Yeah. Wow. Hi.
Yeah, she immediately realized that this was a bad idea. Her words came before anything else. But at least she realized really quick what about bad idea this was. I mean, her face herself kind of says a lot about what she did there. People were speculating that her suspension has something to do with her Shota comments, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Anyway, here's a video of her admitting she likes little boys, which, again, anime little boys also have a clip of this. Hold up.
Look, it's a Shota! Woohoo! Shota number 1. What do you mean Shota con? Just maybe a little bit. I'm not too into her, you know? She's just not my type. I love little boys. And so I use little boys. I like her though. I think she's cool. So, you know, I'd rather have a daddy than a mommy and a little boy than a mommy. Just in case, you know, maybe if I did one 10 pull. Okay, maybe if I just did one 10 pull, I might get this nice young man, you know, who is not really a man, he's a boy, but I don't mind, you know, I like him small.
So as you can see, probably from her mannerisms as well, she doesn't have a lot of filters, as was already mentioned by a few people in these comments, and she does say a lot of stuff before properly thinking it out, which, you know, can lead to comments like this. But again, the Shoda stuff, that's pretty fucking normal for Nijisanji livers, even though no one is as open about it, to my knowledge, in the EN branches as she was or is. I don't want to use past tense because I do want her to come back still. And, you know, do a bit better. Hopefully get into less trouble. I'd like to add this one too. I feel like it will be more likely to get raped in here. Again, this is something that's already been edited out of the VOD, which was linked there. So I didn't found a clip for it, but you can see a subtitled version with a screenshot. I feel like it would have been likely to get raped here. So again, she's referring to herself more than anything else. So again, rape joke, whatever. How she even got accepted in the company? Hold on, getting my music up because I'm kind of missing it. All right, it's back. How she even got accepted in the company is beyond me. But then again, it's not like this is the first time a weird, just bad person got into Niji somehow. So this is the metrics they use to judge who's a bad person based on these things that they consider harmful. This is enough of this is enough evidence for them to make a judgment call about someone's personality. Bro, she better graduate. Again, mostly minors, mostly Genshin stans, just wanting someone to lose her job. She's gross, oh my god. Zaion, fans unfollow me. Using old accounts means nothing. A few of them used their old accounts and just renamed it. Finona talked about piracy to the point it was a meme edgy, but a commonplace with a few of the EN members in general. Not sure why people think this is why she got suspended. To be honest, they have to terminate 90% of Niji then, since they've all made edgy jokes and questionable decisions in some fashion. This is why I don't think it's people defending, but rather pointing out it's unlikely was X, Y, and Z in particular that got her clapped. I have not seen any Niji make rape joke enthusiastically nor anti-Semitic jokes. I mean, wouldn't a lot of these "I'll fuck your mom" jokes be classified as rape jokes, unless you think the mother in those particular instances consented to being fucked by a particular Niji liver. But you know, I'd count those as rape jokes too, or be a shotacon or anything of that category. I may be wrong though, because I stick to my faves. Do you have examples of others, Niji only, please? Because I believe they're held at a different standards. This is also the arguments they like to make, that apparently, you know, Niji and Niji GP are gonna be held to different standards, even though, you know, they're all under one Japanese company. Or B Shotacon. Now that tells me how much of a tourist you are. 80% of Nijisanji are lolicon and Shotacon, specifically in the JP branch. They hardly hide it and are very proud of it. Please read the tweet fully. I specifically stated Niji only, please, because I believe they are held at different standards. I'm very aware JP talents have been open about this before. I'm not tourist to Niji. Read, please. Do you have an example of Niji EN member? The way you had put EN in brackets if you didn't already just say Niji EN. Yo, what happened? I can't find any actual legit info of what she did. Just random's conjecture. Made edgy joke. Talks about emulators, talks about FF14 mods, talks about Shodas. No, this just sounds like a normal day for Tenma or Pipa. So very fucking true. Or even Hime, like, like this is regular face codec content. Seriously. My God, how bad do you gotta fuck up to be labeled as problematic by a company that lets Ina roam free? And again, these people don't lose any time. They immediately try to throw other Niji livers under the bus at the same time. Something like this happens because, you know, you gotta get rid of everyone problematic, otherwise they're sick. Finally. Zaion would be unemployed by the end of February. Affirm. More gloating, more wishing for someone to lose their job. Full graduation when? I'm not surprised. She's freaking weird. I really hope she graduates. I wish that she graduates. And calling someone weird and then just wishing you lose your job. All of these Genshin stands are weird in my book, and I hope they don't get employed with those kinds of attitudes. A bunch of QRTs are like, it's not because she's a Shotakon, as if she doesn't still need to be held accountable for that fact. Just because GP streamers, etc. are also doesn't mean it's right. In fact, they should also be held accountable for that shit. Zaion likers do not interact. Serious. And guy has missed us his name, so whatever, man. Like, your little witch hunt isn't gonna go anywhere. It's the way of bunch of lolicons came into my comments as if they're not the problem. Anyway, lolicons, shotakons, and other forms of pro-shippers do not interact with me. I am a minor, and also fiction affects reality. That's why you're fucking engaging with things you shouldn't be engaging with, and then use the defense of, I'm not a minor, please do not bully me, you're evil and probably a pedophile if you talk to me. Or if you try to counter my bullshit. Accountable for what? Doing nothing? Making anti-Semitic comments, rape jokes, and more. I mean, the JP Shotakons, what they do? You answered your own question. Shotakons and lolicons are weird. They should be absolutely appealing about someone who looks like a child. It doesn't matter if it's, I mean, appalling, probably. Like a child. It doesn't matter if it's fictional, because it's still an image portrayal of a child. Again, lolicon discussion. Beaten until death. The VTuber anime community is filled with weirdos, and the community doesn't view it like that. If the community agrees it's not an issue, and there's nothing to be held accountable for. No one speaks for the entire community. The community agreeing on one thing doesn't mean it's right. No one speaks for the community, but you can say the community should be hold people accountable for something that's generally accepted. Got him, LMAO. Put your best suits on. Graduation on the way. Please, this is all over my OOC's accounts. TL. Random gibberish. She's been cancelled since debut. Like, come on, no one likes her. A lot of people like her, considering, you know, 100,000 subscribers. I think that's how many she has on her YouTube account, and consistent high concurrent viewers. So no one likes her means me and my terminally online buddies do not like her. It's a little crazy that how everyone came for her throat about the Shotakon shit, valid, but the crickets for Uchan? I don't think this is about her jokes though. Maybe the rape jokes, but Niji doesn't give a fuck about Loli. Just remind me, all she admitted to being a Shoda on stream. A Shotakon, not a Shoda. Permanent suspend her next. We don't want a non-Shotakon as a liver. Again, we, as if these people, which are in a very small but vocal minority, speak for anyone. Can you all just announce her graduation already? Literally no one likes her. Again, literally no one with 100,000 subscribers and a huge viewership. Permanently suspend her, and this comment was sent automated. Like, this motherfucker scheduled this fucking comment come out. This is fucking funny. Can we suspend Vox next? That motherfucker getting on my nerves. Yeah, like... They see no other reason to suspend people other than, you know, them annoying some particular people. As a reminder, these particular people are usually underaged Genshin Impact fans. Crossover. Wild. Permanent suspension next. Now make it permanent. And again, this time around, a fucking VTuber artist. Come on, man, like, get fucking serious. This post made my day a whole lot better. Graduation. Cackling. Not surprised, isn't she a Shorakon? Nijisanji be like, oh yes, our liver Zaion LanZa is suspended from making insensitive jokes, and the said insensitive joke is legitimately about rape and anti-Semitic remarks like be fucking for real. I'd like to allude to a specific discussion that a lot of people tend to have when things like this come up, and it's about dark humor. These people like to redefine what dark humor is. Like, they call everyone an asshole if they make like a super edgy jokes. Let's say 9/11 jokes, whatever, rape jokes, kill yourself jokes, and then, you know, they will say that this isn't dark humor, this is just you being an asshole. Like, what is dark humor for you then? I don't know, putting a whoopee cushion under someone's fucking ass? They really like to have their own definitions of what dark humor is and never explain what it is in the first place. She plays Pokemon Go every day to find them little boys. Like, yeah, thanks for those allusions to the fact that you're accusing her of being a pedophile. At this point, graduate her. No one wants her back. Again, no one. And she isn't taking this time to regret her actions either. Like, how the fuck would you know? Just let her go at this point. Like, y'all don't have to temporarily suspend her, these weird ass motherfuckers. We want them gone. Take Nina with you, girl. Cause how the hell Zaion has been suspended for her comments, but not Nina? Like the way these fucking Zoomers type. Like, all of them are very slappable. Violence against children online. Can you swap Yugo for Zaion? We'd love to have Yugo back. No, seriously, you guys made Yugo graduate all of a sudden, and Zaion just got temporary suspension. How is that fair? You know, probably because Yugo more than likely committed something much more contract breaking than she did. Fuck off. One of the few comments I can agree with here. Graduation next. Them, probably the shot attack. Me, wait, isn't the norm? Isn't that a norm in this corporate VTubing, like even Hollow? There's literally highlight clips of her saying she liked an underage Genshin character. How is this normal? Like they said, being a local Shotakon is literally kind of a norm in the VTuber world. It's probably about something else behind the scene. Because if not, then Utako would have already graduated long ago. But we're gonna look past the rape jokes that she made, since no one seems to care about the underage children thing. The R joke is literally one of the top comments here. Scroll up or something. Definitely the Shotakon drama, but my bet is a Westerner complaint. That might not be much of a problem since Utako is still in the company. It's probably Zaion's multiple private VODs. I bet it's a Shotakon. It's the Shotakon comments. when it's literally not. Many livers in Nijisanji JP are shotacons, lolacons, and I said multiple times in stream, admit it. But didn't get suspended. But in Nijisanji Yen, it's kind of different. The fans, skull emoji. But there's different standards with different benches. Some things may not be tolerated as well in the Yen bench as they are in the JP bench. If something like a country specific maybe, but this, no way. Most likely she got angry at management. She got angry at management or something. Just one thing. Hope you all figure out that Shotogun doesn't mean they're literally like little kids in real life. Also, Nijisanji has already listed the reasons why she got suspended. Although we don't know the fact, I will not know. Please remember, do not ask the livers. Being attracted to fictional characters that looks like little boys are still creepy nonetheless. This is why people feel icky when people are attracted to drawings of little girls. Like, get offline with these icky comments. Again, probably another minor, just engaging with content not suitable for them. So liking children is bad now because they look cute and pretty, which is why I said attracted. Please read. Liking them because they're cute and pretty is fine. Being attracted to them is when it's creepy. This is specifically why I said attracted. Yes, being attracted to real children is creepy and wrong. Being attracted to fictional cartoon children can be creepy but isn't wrong. Which is why I specifically only said creepy. Yes, but you responded to someone who stated the Shotacon specifically only like the cartoons. Who cares if it's only creepy? Only if it's creepy and wrong. These discussions are roundabout. Oh, and this one is fucking wild. Nijisanji is gonna be on my ass like it's on Kyo's right now. This is something that Nijisanji did by fucking mistake. They basically wanted to link to one of their livers and linked to an account that's basically posting what Kyo's roommate is posting. And saying that Kyo is throwing shade at Zaion, which ultimately I don't think was true. That's something I don't really want to talk about. But this is something that Nijisanji did, and they deleted this tweet. So, you know, Nijisanji's professionalism is in kind of question here. And that's what I'm gonna end on in terms of these screenshots. I think there's a few more clips I have of Zaion, so hold up. What else do I have here that's Zaion related? This is about her not being very apologetic about her VOD clips and basically admitting that a lot of her stuff gets privated and then some content gets edited out because, you know, management doesn't like what she said. So hold up, I'm gonna play that.
Hello, I have a part-time job, so look at the archives later. Looking forward to seeing what you and the Zaion talked about today. Yeah, for sure! Don't worry, this VOD will stay, I swear. I'm not fucking... You know, I'm just at this point, guys. You know what we're just gonna do? We're just gonna go through all of our adventures together and see if... every single day, we're just gonna have to see if the VOD isn't private. I'm gonna have the most pirated videos of anybody here. Oh, man! We're gonna have the most. You guys are gonna stop. People are gonna stop asking why is it private, and then goes, how many are we at now? That's gonna be the question.
So yeah, she found that to be pretty humorous, but ultimately her management kind of got fed up with it, which kind of sucks because one can tell, like from her general mannerisms and optimism here, is that she probably thought that this wasn't too much of a big deal and ultimately will be tolerated by her bosses. But it turned out it wasn't the case. I feel a bit bad for her when it comes to that stuff. Maybe ultimately Nijisanji should have told her more strictly that what she's doing is wrong and she should stop it. I have one other clip where she basically says that she's not like the other Nijis, which I do kind of respect her for that. Because she is kind of different. She is a bit edgier and kind of more in line with what I like in VTubers. So hold up.
There's a little thing on top of the thing! How do I get up there? How
Hold
am
up.
I
This is
supposed
too
to
huge.
get from point A to point B? I'm on a...
Alright. Making this smaller. There we go.
There's a little thing on top of the thing! How do I get up there? How am I supposed to get from point A to point B? I'm on a mission. Hey, y'all ready to go on a journey with me? Let's go on an adventure, okay? Let's go on an adventure. What are they watching? They're about to watch their demise. Yeah, that's right. See, Troy, here's the problem with doing that, though. We break the painting. The whole boys were trying not to break things. Although I'll break your mom, Troy. What do you do is backseating, duh! I'm okay with you.
See, every fucking Niji makes your mom, I'll fuck your mom jokes. So, again, one could interpret this one as a rape joke too. But then you'd have to put every Niji, almost every Niji, on up to the same standards.
Guys backseating a little bit, but like, you know, nobody really enjoys people backseating. I'm actually more nice about it than most streamers are. Most streamers will just ban you. Most Niji members will politely remind you before banning. I'm not most Niji members. Also, you can't clump us all together just because we're all under one company. We are vastly different from each other. I have nothing to do with a lot of them, like in terms of opinion and a lot of other things.
Yeah, she really stands out. And from what she's saying, I don't think she has a lot of good working relationships with a lot of them. I mean, it's her own words after all.
I appreciate that, though, Clockwork. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, nowadays, like, there's a demand for every kind of content. And sure, some people are always gonna be like, there's gonna be things that more people like than other people. Nowadays, any kind of content is content. Thank you, though, Seth. I appreciate that. But no, it's more like I'm not here to be like, if you let people get away with too much, then they won't learn either.
Yeah, this is something she herself hopefully learns, you know. So she does as she says, practices what she preaches. So, what do you guys think? Let me get a small drink because I've been talking for the last hour or so. I'll catch up to the chat when I return in like 2 minutes. Getting the music back up. But I'll leave you with this question. Or maybe I'll do a poll. Hold up. I'll try to do a poll. I never did a poll on YouTube. Let's start this poll. Okay, let's see if this goes through. Is this going through? Alright, you guys can vote. I'll get a drink. Alright, I'm back. I should have, in hindsight, I probably should have added I'm on the fence option. I personally am on the side of yes, but only because, you know, there's still a lot of things we don't know about this situation. There's plenty to speculate on, and I'm quite sure there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that we aren't aware of, that involved her managers and Zaion herself. So at least in terms of, you know, breaking company rules, she clearly broke those rules and, you know, got suspended for it. I think that's a just decision. But, you know, exactly how she's treated by her managers and how she treats her managers back, we don't know any of that, and we don't know, at least I don't know, maybe some of you guys do know. I did as much research on this as I could, but there's too much vagueness about all the information that's available. So it's hard to decide. I'm on the side of yes, but I'm also a bit on the fence because I do like her, and I think more than a suspension, maybe talking to her with a bit more serious tone behind the scenes, maybe that would have helped. Maybe that could have helped her avoid the suspension altogether. But again, as you know, as I know, we don't know too much about this whole situation, and it's problematic. As much as I don't like to use that word, it's something we can only speculate on. I don't know any Nijisanji insiders, and I doubt you guys know any either. But again, might be wrong. So this is kind of left up in the air. I see most of the chat says that she was wrongfully suspended, and I don't blame you for voting like that either. It could go either way for me, but you know, if I had more information, if I actually knew what happened behind the scenes, I'd make a more informed decision on this. In my heart of hearts, I personally hope that Zaion didn't do anything too heinous behind the scenes to earn a bigger punishment than she has, because that would break my heart, because I do actually like her content. As little as I watched of it, I watched like a total of like 6 streams, full 6 streams of her. She has much more than that, but I do like her attitude. She's kind of a ditz. She has no filters, as I mentioned a few times already. She's a bit of a mother mouth, which I like that kind of energy in a few VTubers, and I think it works out for her and her character in general. And she also has great porn. You guys should look up her porn. Her porn is some chef's kiss stuff. So use your Borus or whatever, use your Twitters to look up her art tags, because there's some quality stuff in there. It's basically yeah, it's pretty good stuff if you're interested in that sort of content. I am, considering what my account does and what I work with in my professional life, so it's kind of unavoidable for me. But yeah, we pretty much reached the end of what I want to talk about today, but there's still a lot of the chat for me to catch up on, so let me go through it. I'll try to raise this poll. I'm ending it. 84% on no and 16% on yes. Yo, Kuri Rinji, I want to ask you something. Why aren't pro shippers referred to as probe shippers? Because when I hear pro shippers, I think people are for shipping, not problematic shippers. I mean, the people that made up those terms, pro shipper and anti shipper, they already think that the word pro shipper has an inherent negative connotation tied to it. So you know, that's something they made up. So they probably don't feel like they need to call it a probe shipper, because they already think of pro shippers as something bad. In my day, when the internet was still young, there was no such thing as pro shipper or anti shipper. People just accepted fiction as it was. All of these terminally online, I like to use that term, as most people do nowadays. All those terminally online teenagers didn't exist. Like, this is the new thing. This all came up. This all was invented in the last few years, and I imagine a lot of it comes from Tumblr, because Tumblr is where all of these exceptional ideas get spawned and circulated, and people start believing them true. So when Tumblr died and their insular community had to go out into the real quote-unquote internet world, they got confronted with the reality that people don't agree with them. But considering how extremist they are, they decided, instead of accepting differences, that people see this stuff quite differently and let others live, they decided to fight everyone. And that's why you have stupid children nowadays going around on Twitter calling everything and everyone a pedophile. You have these Zoomers calling short real women, real fucking women. They're calling real women children, and if those women are in a relationship with someone that looks big, that size difference to them means it's pedophilia, because pedophilia to them isn't an age issue. It's an appearance issue, and then sometimes it's age for some of them. So again, that's their mindset, and it's a dangerous mindset that makes actual groomers operations that much easier. They can infiltrate all those communities with those stupid minors and those other stupid Zoomers, and then just wreak havoc and pretend they are the good guys. Happened so many times before. There's a huge list of those people that are just hidden predators. Have you guys seen Kyobi versus Nijisanji? I have. I hope he can get those strikes resolved, because this has wider implications on everyone. This would allow not only Nijisanji but other companies to just abuse that copyright strike system and get whoever they want down. And it's not like people haven't been abusing YouTube's copyright system for fucking years. So again, even if you don't like someone, even if they produce the content that you don't enjoy, if you advocate for them getting down, some other people that you actually like might get the same treatment down the line. This involves, anyone, your favorite VTuber clippers or whatever. If Nijisanji sees something in those clips that they deem unfavorable to their talents or to their image, they just might, strike it down, and then you have to fight them. So I hope YouTube resolves this peacefully, and I hope this doesn't set a precedent if it goes haywire. So you might not like the guy, but advocating for such a thing, saying that he deserves it, is one thing, but thinking in a wider scope, it's a dangerous situation, and you really don't want fucking corporations and companies abusing that system. This has happened for many years on YouTube, and you don't want more of that happening. You want less of that happening. I think Niji Yen's spiraling out of control in a way that may have heavily affected Niji JP. I feel really bad for Hana and Mika already, not make it any worse, any color. Niji's management seems kinda incompetent at this point in some ways. I mean, they make a lot of mistakes. They don't have a lot of reign over their talents, it seems, because Nijisanji commits yab after yab. That stream where some of their livers were pretending to be, you know, 4chan people and just basically shit talk other livers, pretending they're 4chaners. How that was allowed to go through by management, who the fuck knows? So, you know, I have my doubts of how much Nijisanji and managers actually do. Again, this is all my just my speculations, but to an outsider, this looks kind of spotty. I'd even say incompetent, but that's just my opinion. Let's see what you guys have been talking about. Cause the suspension fueled people's outrage a bit, made them feel justified. I think there needed to be some discipline, but this seemed mainly a management issue than just a liver problem. I think it's kind of twofold. It's one kind of a liver problem because I think Zaion should have realized that her audience, you know, the Nijisanji's audience is that dumb. They have different sensibilities than most other VTuber audiences have, especially if you're coming from like an indie environment, or if you're a Face Connect VTuber. And on the other hand, you know, management should have been stricter. Management should have had more control on her behavior. Stricter guidelines is what I'm saying here. Should have been established for a thing like that. And the way the company shows this suspension is problematic. It's like they shame their talent publicly. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say shame, but you know, they released a lot more this time around. They released a lot more information than they usually do, because normally they would say that someone broke either some rule of the contract that they signed, or they did like one specific thing, and that one specific thing remains vague in the announcement, and then everyone has to speculate. This one was a bit more specific, but the exact details are still unknown to us. Unknown to me, at least. Just from a company standpoint, it's justifiable, and yes, we don't know the full details. Yep, that's what I agree with as well. I think the suspension was good so she could reflect, but I don't think it was necessary. Yeah, I'm also on this side that, you know, it could have probably been resolved in a different way, but ultimately, I guess maybe they decided to make an example out of her, which, you know, I don't like to make examples out of employees, but, you know, it happens, and it's kind of unavoidable. What else is here? Is there a common rut that all Nijiyen just doesn't listen to management? I mean, there's so many rats about Nijiyen and VTubers in general. I could be sitting here all day just talking about them, but some rats are so unhinged that it's kind of not worth it. Like, if you want rats, just go to VT and, you know, indulge yourself in their insanity, and then, you know, have them pretend that they are the source of all of that stuff, and then, you know, they think of themselves as not unhinged, and everyone else besides them is to blame, whereas all of these rats are just exported to fucking 4chan. Yeah. That's why I don't go there very often. It's just not worth it. If I wanted to read schizo posting, I have Twitter. I don't need to. I don't need more schizo posting unless it's very funny schizo posting. At one point, I might do a stream showing off the most unhinged shit from 4chan's VT and JP about VTubers, because that's some quality content right there. Like, there's this one story where a guy was trying to make a tulpa, like an imaginary friend. He was trying to make a tulpa out of pecora, and he took a lot of designer drags to make it happen, and he documented all of that process, and it's pretty fucking funny. So that's something I'd really like to explore, because this is like very unique. No one does stupid shit like they do. I think you need to stream a minimum amount of times a week for the contract. It's a very common thing that I do actually know for a fact among VTuber agencies, that you are obligated to stream a set amount of time. You probably get free reign when it comes to what days you want to stream, but I do think a lot of them require you have specific amounts you have to stream. Although, I think some companies are more loose with that kind of thing than others. I mean, specifically, I'm speaking in terms of like HoloLive. HoloLive allows a lot of their talents to not stream for extended periods of time. Didn't Hugo break NDA? Yep, Hugo did indeed break NDA, and it was probably serious enough to warrant that firing, warrant that graduation. Imagine being a 2D character and having so much power over real people that they fear you every day on Twitter. LOL. Yeah, that's why you stay off Twitter, because Twitter is a place for unhinged people and porn. Porn is the best part of it, so if you can manage to avoid the unhinged people, you at least get some enjoyment out of it. So it's not all bad, and if you clean up your feed properly, if you follow the right people, if you mute the right words on your account, you'll only get the content you want. At least Twitter isn't broken to the point where you can't modify your settings, Some of the chat escaped me. Let's scroll back down. Twitter is cancer. Yep. But I am on it. Part of my job, my actual professional job, involves being on it, so I can't avoid it. So even when I'm working on stuff, I have to see some things that I do not want to see, and I cannot mess with the specific accounts that to modify my experience, so I'm kind of forced to see what I see. For sure they need more wranglers, not just managers. Managers should be good wranglers in the first place, I think. Schizo posting is my favorite posting, indeed. This is the best posting that can be. Things like spreading drama via rats, that's usually not very funny, and it's usually very easy to tell was just someone being an instigator. But when someone's like completely unhinged, like trying to monitor someone's period schedule, that's when it becomes funny. I think there's been like 3 VTubers that had their periods monitored by 4chan's VT. One of them was Pekora, another one was Face Connects Uruka, and I forgot what the third one was, but all funny. And I should add that to my list of things to cover when 4chan is gonna be on Oh yeah, Gura was also monitored. Gura's everything is monitored by VT. The newest threat about Gura is about pregnancy. That she's having a cooldown period after giving birth, and people are calculating how much it takes an average woman of a particular size to recover after giving birth. And you know the rat is that Gura came back just after that period was done. Yeah, that's the kind of silly shit you can at least laugh at. But other stuff that actually gets exported out of VT and actually had an effect on a VTuber, that's something that's pretty fucking stupid. To give you an example of that, I think a year ago or something like that, someone on VT decided to fuck with Nijisanji's Pomu and basically said, hey, I'm gonna send her some unhinged shit into Marshmallow. And they did, and Pomu responded to it, got very upset, and it seems it really got to her. After that, she deleted that tweet where she responded to that person, so you know, 4chan got a win on Pomu, and you know, this is the exact kind of shit that I do not enjoy them doing. They keep complaining about, you know, content containment breaks, but you know, it's always them. It's not always it's not Twitter people, it's Reddit people coming to them and then exporting stupid shit. Although they do sometimes happen, but not as often as they think. They're just, some of them are still under the mindset that, you know, 4chan is a secret fucking club, and it's not a place where you know, corporations, and I do mean like big publishers and shit like that, come to shield their products. It's really just become all that, like, you know, things to spread messages around, either political or merchandising, that kind of shit. Spreading political ideologies on politically incorrect, shilling video games on VG, on V, going to TV and shilling specific shows and movies. People do that, and you know, the time where 4chan was more secretive, where 4chan was more niche and obscure, is long past. It's been, you know, many years, and that secret club mentality just doesn't fucking apply. They're just like any other fucking platform that's public. What they have is you know, their own culture, sure. Moderated free speech, which they think is free speech. It isn't. There's rules to everything. Sure, they can call each other slurs and shit like that, but their speech is still highly monitored and curtailed. So again, it's all just a big fucking illusion, and if you believe that illusion, you probably need to get out, see other places, and decide for yourself how you want to continue. I say that as someone who has been on 4chan for quite a long time, not since its inception, but for many years, like on and off, because 4chan has like periods where it gets boring. There's like generational shifts in terms of user base, where, you know, the content gets stale for one user base and then it's replaced by another when that older generation leaves. So, you know, if you don't want to hang around Zoomers and Zoomers that are a bit edgier, then you just fucking leave. And that's what I did a long time ago, because it just became completely uninteresting. Who's the father out there? The rat is that it's Vesper. There's a lot of, you know, all of these funny rats that Vesper fucked everyone, and that's and that is why management temporarily suspended him. Again, all of these are not meant to be taken seriously, and if some people do, then yeah, they're just as bad as the concept of these fucking jokes. Vesper is great. He's amazing at Zatsudan. Was and still is one of my favorite VTubers, even before he became Vesper. I'm not sure if some of his content is still up. I think it is. I'm not quite certain about that. I'll look it up later. I'm not gonna be talking about roommates here. It's just the only thing I'll mention that his content was very fun to listen to, quite relaxing. Something he portrayed himself as someone you'd aspire to, someone incredibly relatable, even for his age. He appealed to a lot of younger people. I'd even say that he became sort of a father figure to a lot of them. So that's pretty wholesome. What have you guys been talking about still? I'm following you and banned VTuber memes, and almost 99% is pure R18 artist. I honestly have a great time on Twitter for the most part. I'm glad you do, because a lot of people don't. I've definitely seen Period Gura posting a lot of, oh yeah, it's all over. It's all over the usual places. Ovulation calendar, yep. I love the Gura schizo post that was like, you can't convince me that Gura is alive. I think there's one of these other unhinged rats that says that Kura is actually dead and she was replaced by someone, and the Kura that's gonna return is just gonna be a sound-alike, because apparently, you know, a lot of people can imitate Kura's voice, so that's also something I've read before. It's funny stuff. Everyone's very sane. Just talking about these things like kind of, you know, makes scrambled eggs out of my brain. Because how do you even come up with that shit? It is funny, it is entertaining, but you know, you have to have you either have to be specifically, you know, trolling in order to get a rise of someone, or you're just crazy. I personally think Zaion got it hard to put the other libraries in line. Possible. I mean, making an example out of someone in a company can have, you know, multiple purposes. Could have been one of those. Unsure if it actually was, but I'd believe it. Oh man, did I miss the good stuff. I mean, we've been just talking about very weird narratives that people spin about VTubers. The stuff about Zaion was about 40 minutes ago or so. There was a vote about his suspension too. So later on in the VOD you can go look that up. At least it's just 1 hour long and not longer than that. These shorter streams have a better purpose than these longer ones, because the longer ones just kill my voice wholesale, and there's times where you just reiterate points and you cycle back to the same ones. So this was a bit more focused, which I'm happy about. Please take us on that ride. Yeah, that fortune ride is gonna come eventually. but need to gather some contents, some of the funniest, worst content to come out of VT and JP. I can tell you right now, it's really gonna be worth it because that stuff is unique. You don't see that kind of stuff on Twitter, even though Twitter is exceptional in itself. You don't see that stuff on Reddit because Reddit is incredibly boring and usually made out of hat tippers, fedora tippers, and it becomes incredibly repetitive and uninteresting. The more unhinged, the more interesting it is. VT and VTubers gave me a hack fetish, and I've never been any more happier now than before. See, there are some positives you can get out of places like that. Sure, it's of sexual nature, but if it makes you happy and it doesn't hurt you or anybody else, then I don't see a problem with that. Niji Fuck Club. It's funny when you watch yesterday's stream in which he could barely chat up with an AI bot. Yeah, that was pretty fun. You're either on the team Hag or team. Oh, I'm some, like, in terms of my favorites, I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't necessarily, as much as I talk about lolly shit, I'm not that invested in it in terms of art, even though I like a lot of art on Twitter. My favorite body type in terms of cartoon characters, in terms of anime characters, is somewhere in the middle of someone busty. Has to be something more slender, still voluptuous, but with good muscle tones and stuff like that. I even shown off what kind of characters I'm into, so it's more something in the middle. Still more of a youthful appearance, but not necessarily a lolly. Going into like the what one would consider a young adult body type, I guess. Nah, not a poser. I just like many things. I'm just talking about my favorites. Like, we all do have favorites. It's better to like more stuff than, you know, just stick with one thing. Revi from Black Lagoon is a good example of that. She's very slender. She has very good muscle tones. Yeah, muscle tone boys are pretty fucking great. Like the anime that's airing right now, Tombo-chan Wants to Be a Girl. I think that's the English name of it. I adore the manga of that. Tomboys can be pretty fucking great. It doesn't matter if they're more of the trolling side, because I do kind of consider Nagatoro a tomboy. She is kind of like that, but she's more of the Gyaru archetype, which still can kind of fall towards the tomboy aesthetic, I guess, the tomboy characteristic, tomboy archetype. But yeah, those girls are usually very interesting because, you know, it's like having a body. It's like having a male body just in the form of a girl. So if you're into that kind of friendship, I can understand why it appeals to you. It surely appeals to me. But still not my favorite. Like, in terms of archetypes, what do I like the most? I don't even know. I like so many things that I don't really want to pick favorites. Because it all depends on the character and how they're written, how they look like, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's always better to like more things than limit yourself to one specific thing and then, you know, just iron it out. It's always been like that for me, and I'm happy being like that. But yeah. That's pretty much all for now. I've read as much of the chat as I could. We're nearing the 2-hour mark. It's been pretty fun. It's been good chatting with you guys. It's been cool discussing what happened to Zaion. because I think that's worthy of a discussion with some people that aren't just me. So I accomplished the goal of this stream of, you know, having different opinions being passed around, confronting some of different opinions, and then, you know, seeing what you guys have been thinking about this whole situation. So I appreciate that greatly. I appreciate you showing up to keep me company on this this joyous occasion. I hope to see you on the next one. Not sure when the next one's gonna be. Not sure what it's gonna be about. I'd like these streams to have a lot of substance to them, so you can actually go through some content and not just shoot the shit. As much as fun as shooting the shit is, with people that have a lot of different opinions, I think having some kind of structure to your streams is also important, not only as a VTuber, but as a streamer in general, so people can get invested in what you're talking about. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll play you guys off with something fitting, something that is gonna get copyright claimed for sure, but I do not care. I just care about playing cool music. I'll see you guys on the next one, whenever that's gonna be. So stay off Twitter, keep yourself healthy, make sure to hydrate a lot, and be good to each other and to yourself.
Sound is the basis of form and shape.